Good afternoon. We have got some questions regarding this presentation. Somebody have asked, is there any evidence of large reservoir in camels in Rajasthan? So theoretically it's possible because these coronaviruses are basically zoonotic and they have been isolated in various wild animals including bat, pangolin, and there are other animals including camels also. But as far as data is concerned, there is no data till date which suggests that the camels in Rajasthan are carrying this virus. So we have no answer to this, but we assume that there is no virus in the camels who are there in Rajasthan.
So there is a query regarding the order of PPE in which they should be worn. So whatever I have told on my slides is slightly different from CDC. What I have told is that we are wearing two gloves. The first pair of gloves is worn in the first and the second pair is worn at last. So if you have a shorter supply of gloves, then you can wear only single pair of gloves, which should be worn after the all other PPEs has been worn. So that is a little bit different from the CDC recommendation.
Second, somebody have asked, is the disease non-fatal among people who are taking non-vegetarian food? So question to this is no. Food habit usually do not affect the outcome. Food habit only may be responsible for transmission of virus from animals to human. So initially, maybe at the start of the epidemic, as happened in China, because those people are consuming these wild animals which are carrier of coronavirus, they got the infection from there. But once that is there, then probably food habit do not affect the final outcome of the disease. So we can assume that the fatality do not depend on the food habits.
So we have got a question regarding efficacy of N95 mask, as the size of coronavirus is smaller than the filterability capability of the mask. So we have to understand that it is not a single viral particle which we are stopping. It's the droplets and a group of a component which contains lots of viruses which is we are trying to stop. So this viral size is 0.1 micron while the mask size is filter size is 0.3, but still it is able to stop the virus. It does not depend upon just the size of one viral particle.
One question we have got is, what is the status of mutation in COVID-19 virus? So regarding this, there is some data that the existing virus have already shown some conformational changes. There is some data which suggests that, but what will the effect on the ultimate symptomatology, the outcome, the disease severity, or the fatality rate? We have no idea about that. So we have to wait and watch for that.
So we have please inform regarding the guidelines for working in the dental settings for the dentist. So for dentist practices right now, what is recommended world over is that routine dental procedures should not be performed. Regarding the emergency dental procedures, which includes facial injuries or cellulitis or bleeding, you should be using all PPEs as recommended for dental procedures, and routine dental procedures should not be performed at this time.
One important question we got was, is there a possibility of fecal-oral transmission of this virus? So it is well documented that the virus is active in the feces, and studies have shown that virus is there. Virus have been isolated from the feces, but till date there is no reported case where there is the evidence of transmission of this virus from fecal-oral route. So theoretically one may say that because stool is containing that virus, it can transmit, but till date there is no case being reported leading to fecal-oral transmission.
So there is one important question, that if someone has been found to be negative for coronavirus but our clinical suspicion is high, can we repeat the testing? So as of today by ICMR, there is no recommendation for repeat testing if one sample has come negative. But as per WHO guidelines, they have said that if you have very high clinical suspicion, you can repeat testing, and if the initial sample was an upper respiratory sample, the next sample you should possibly try and send a lower respiratory tract sample rather than upper respiratory, so that the yield may increase. But as of now, ICMR has not been recommending any repeat testing.
One question we got was, whether the patient who is having probably nasal allergy taking intranasal inhaled corticosteroids should be stopped or not. So our recommendation is whatever treatment patient is taking currently for any comorbid disease, they should continue that disease. There is no need to stoppage of this intranasal corticosteroid or inhaled corticosteroids. They should be continuous as per indicated by the underlying disease.
So how long a triple layer mask can be worn? So the maximum duration of triple layer mask is recommended for up to 6 hours, but it should not be used. It is single use mask, so it should not be used if it is grossly contaminated or it is wet, or you have removed it once and wearing it again. That is not allowed. So if you have worn a mask, you have to put it, and if you have removed it, then it is to be thrown away. You should not be wearing masks in your neck, roaming around with the mask in your neck. That can be more contaminating. Secondly, you should not be holding the mask from front. If you are wearing a mask, if you have to remove it, you should always hold it from the sides and remove it rather than holding in the front, whether for N95 mask or the triple layer surgical mask.
One important question asked was whether the patient who are having comorbid conditions, suppose somebody is having diabetes or heart disease or liver disease, should they wear N95 as a preventive strategy? So for this, no. Any patient who is asymptomatic and not carrying any patient who is known of COVID disease, they need not to wear N95 mask.
So can dogs or mosquito be carrying the disease? Can they be carrier for the disease? As of now, there is nothing which can suggest that dogs or mosquito are carrying the disease. So you don't need to worry about your dogs regarding being the carrier or reservoir for the disease.
One important question we got was what is the role of HCQS prophylaxis? So I think ICMR has clearly given the guidelines and one should follow those guidelines, and this HCQS prophylaxis is recommended for healthcare workers who are taking care of COVID patients. It's not like every healthcare worker need to take that. And second group of people who should take HCQS is those who are close contact of COVID-19 positive cases.
So one question is that can healthcare workers be using the cloth mask in the hospital settings? So it is not recommended to use a cloth mask because it gets wet with the secretions, with your vapor from your breath. So a cloth mask is not recommended for prevention of COVID-19 disease.
One question we got was they were asking what is the survival of this virus on different surfaces, and somebody had asked on clothes also. But whatever, I think I have shown this in my presentation that this virus can be active in air for almost 3 hours. On different surfaces, it can be active up to 3 days depending on what kind of surface it is there. So we don't know what is the survival on the clothes, but we assume it may be for few hours or maybe for few days. So that's it.
So is N95 mask required for sample collection? So as of now, as per our current understanding, it should be used for sample collection. Basically for lower respiratory tract sample collection like bronchoscopy or lavage, you have to anyway wear an N95 mask. But currently while collecting the upper respiratory samples also, patient may sneeze, patient may cough, so it is better to use an N95 mask while you are collecting samples from the nasopharyngeal route or the oropharynx. There is a very important question. The doctors who are caring for COVID-19 positive patients, can they go back to their family and meet them? So as I have told in my last of my few slides that whether what is the exposure and what should be done for healthcare workers who are exposed to COVID-19 positive patients. If you are using all your PPEs and you are using hospital scrubs rather than your home clothes, you can safely go back to your home. What I would advise that don't roam around in the hospital after your duties. You go back home, take a bath, and that actually helps in general preventing the spread of infection rather than getting worried of spreading the infection to your relatives. But what is important that you need to use PPEs appropriately and clean and wash your hands before you leave for home.
One more important question was, can we reuse N95 mask? And there are few messages which are circulating on social media, including the Facebook as well as WhatsApp, that it can be autoclaved or it can be boiled or it can be sterilized by ultraviolet rays. So there are few studies which have used ultraviolet radiation to sterilize it, but we don't know what will be the effect on the filtering capacity of this mask. So studies are there especially for ultraviolet radiation uses, but till date there is no recommendation, and we suggest do not reuse an N95 mask.
So there's a question that whether COVID-19 disease can present as left lower lobe pneumonia. So COVID-19 presentation in form of unilateral disease has also been reported. So if you have a suspicion, a contact history, a travel history, or a healthcare worker who has come with a focal disease or localized disease, you should test them for a COVID-19. Another question is that how should we handle the blood samples for COVID-19 patients? So regarding the blood sample collection as well as processing in the lab, there is no change in the usual recommendations for the blood sample collection as well as processing in the labs, that they can be done simply. But if you are handling the respiratory secretions in the lab, you are obviously you should be wearing gown, mask and gloves as well as a triple layer surgical mask.
So we thank Vijay and Saurabh for their inputs, and we are overwhelmed by the response. I hope everybody would have found these webinar useful. We'll have the second webinar on 4th at the same time. So we look forward to all of you joining us again. Thank you so much.